So today we're going to talk about passion. Passion. It's not a day that goes by that you don't go on social media and you can see someone sharing something about finding your passion. I've done it plenty of times myself. If you scroll through the news feed now, not now because I'm on, but if you scroll through the news feed later on after this call and you see a lot of the different pictures people put up, I'm guaranteed you're going to see something about passion and finding your passion. So this weekend, I hosted my first 2016 small group next level coaching class, and it was awesome. It was awesome. Awesome group of women in that class. But several of the participants expressed how they wanted to find their passion. They had no idea what their passion was. And as I listened, I went through my typical spiel of finding your passion, but I can see the frustration in their eyes, like a real sincere frustration. They've heard that before. They've seen all the pictures and the memes like we have on passion. So it occurred to me, it was like an epiphany. And I said, perhaps charging someone or telling someone to find their passion who has no idea what their passion is creates such a climate of just uncertainty and fear that it can render that person seeking their passion immobile. Like they don't know what to do. Think about it. It's like telling someone or taking a person who has no clue what their passion is like taking someone in the middle of nowhere, dropping them off and telling them to find their way home. They have no inkling on which direction to go into. And so telling someone who really has no idea what their passion is similar to that. You put someone out there and it's just like, where do I go? Because connecting with your passion is like finding your way home. When a person, and those of you who have connected with your passion know, when you've connected with your passion in life, it feels good. It feels comfortable. It feels like the comforts of home. But a lot of people have not been able to do that, and they don't know where to start. And so I've even challenged myself after this realization the other day to just really be careful about just putting it out there to find your passion and really consider the person, because some people they have no clue where to start. And so maybe it's not so much about finding a passion, maybe it's about allowing your passion to find you. So going back to the analogy of taking someone in the middle of nowhere and dropping them off, you think about if a person's lost in the middle of nowhere. We've heard like stories of people being lost. They're out hiking or they're out camping and they get lost in the middle of nowhere. Typically, their survival is most dependent on someone finding them than them getting out themselves. So some people, many of us have been able to find our passion, but many more are out there in the wilderness. No idea, which way to go. And so it's necessary for their passion to find them and to realize that it's possible for your passion to find you. So maybe it's not so much of you finding your passion, but that passion finding you. And I know some folks on even social media last night when I posted this, shared how they found their passion at 4, or people, they knew what it was that they connected to. And that's a blessing, but that's more of an exception than the rule. So as I'm thinking about this, and as I'm thinking about the whole ideal of allowing your passion to find you, I thought about, and those of you who have joined me for, almost a year now in these Transformation Tuesday, know that I've done, plenty of recordings on happiness. And I've shared how happiness, if you make happiness a goal, it will always elude you, because happiness is an inside job. So, when a person says, I want to find happiness, they very rarely find happiness, because happiness is not something out there to find. Happiness is something internal within. So maybe the same is true of passion. Maybe passion is something for some people that it needs to be found externally, or it needs to come and find them. And it's possible. So the same measures that you would take in a situation like you're out in the wilderness with, no idea of which way to go, is the same measures you need to take to find your passion. So how do you allow happiness? How do you allow this passion to find you? So let's go back to the analogy of being lost in the middle of nowhere, where your survival is dependent on someone else finding you. Think about the things that you need to do. Despite the sense of hopelessness you may feel in this situation, there are things, there are measures, there are actions that you can take, And I see Kyra Rennell says passion shows up when you collide with your purpose. Great point there. So how do you allow your passion to find you? 3 steps here I want to share with you today. Number 1, make yourself visible. Make yourself visible. Release any barriers that you may have. A lot of us have barriers that may prevent your passion from finding you, or prevent you from recognizing something as your passion. Sometimes you're connected with some things that you don't even realize it's your passion. And one of the ways to really discern that, things that you find yourself doing that you love, that you lose a track of time in, that you find yourself in a flow in, that could be clues. Like I talked about last week or the week before, success leaves clues. Passion leaves clues too. Passion leaves clues too. It's the things that people say you would do for free, and Lanita, do things even when afraid. And that's part of this visibility here. Stop hiding behind fear. Stop hiding behind fear. That's equivalent to hiding behind the trees if you're lost in the wilderness. If you hide behind the trees, nobody's going to find you. That rescue helicopter is just going to keep going. So you have to make yourself visible. Send out the rescue flares, to your passion and say, hey, I'm over here. I'm over here. So consistently, I've noticed that individuals who most often express that they are not able to connect with their passion are personality types that, and some people can appreciate that, those who were in my group, but they're personality types that shrink within themselves. I had a group member who expressed that before. She wants to stop shrinking within herself. And I thought that was so poignant, the way she put it. So these are, when you think about shrinking within yourself, you're not making yourself visible. You're hiding behind yourselves. So make yourself visible. Don't be afraid of the public scrutiny. This keeps a lot of people from going after their passion. What if I fail? What if I make a fool of myself? There will be times that happens, but that's all part of the process. That's all part of the process. So don't even consider making yourself visible risky behavior, because again, oftentimes people who have not attached themselves or allowed that passion to come into their lives, they see the steps needed to do that as risky behavior, and they want to play it safe in life. And I've heard, and you've heard before, you can't play it safe in life. You can't play it safe. Everybody's going to get out of here one way or another. We're all going to leave this earth at some point. So, don't be that person who just wants to play it safe, because what are you playing it safe from? Connecting with your passion is what gives you life and makes you feel alive. Number 2, be open. Be open. Let your defenses down. So many people are walking around every day defensive, wanting to protect themselves, that they're not allowing the goodness, they're not allowing that passion to flow into their lives. So let those defenses down. Go out and try new things. Go out and try new things. Do something or some things that you never imagined yourself doing before, and do it like no one's looking. Because again, that fear of people are going to look at me can really get in the way of that. Get out there and try some new things, because that's the way your passion can find you. And number 3, don't get stuck. Don't get stuck in a rut. Don't get stuck in a routine. Don't get stuck in a pattern. If there are people out there telling you you're so predictable, then you may want to really reevaluate how you're living life. You want to shake things up a little bit. Someone posted a quote the other day on Facebook from the movie Kung Fu Panda, and I thought it went really well with this topic. But the quote went, if you only do what you can do, you'll never be able to be better than what you are. Again, if you only do what you can do, you'll never be able to be better than what you are. So connecting with your passion is like being found by a rescue crew after being lost in the wilderness for far too long. And if the old adage, find your passion, has not yielded the results that you want in your life, try letting your passion find you. Follow these 3 steps I just shared. Making yourself visible, being open, and don't get stuck. Get out of that routine, and pretty soon you'll be finding yourself living your life in full bloom. Thank you guys Follow these 3 steps, share this message on Facebook, and get out there and allow your passion to find you. Have a great day. Bye-bye.